Hello, it's Natalie Starfish and Sherlock the Corgi. Hey, Popo, you ready to make some quilts today? Yes. Okay, all right, so today, hi, I'm Natalie Starfish. Today we are going to be working on the checkered quilt, and we're at the very specific part where we're going to make sure that the corners line up just perfectly. I'm going to show you a really cool trick for that. And we're at that part that can make the whole rest of it go. So we've already sewn, thank you, Sherlock. We've already sewn our charm squares to a piece of solid blue. And I showed that on the earlier video. And we ripped the long strip for that. So you can see that in the beginning, in the earlier video. We precision cut these, which is really important for this next step. And in this step, we're going to be sewing, so my first part, I did this off camera. I paired opposite colors, or same pattern, but opposite colors. Look at this. This is more of a yellow, and this is more of a green. I don't know if you can see the colors. So maybe a little bit better with this one. Here we go. This is a same pattern, different colors. So we've got the red with the navy blue black color. Anyway, I went through all the charm squares in this pack and did that pairing. I did that off camera. And I'm doing that very specifically. I'm trying to make a really interesting pattern, which I'll show you later in this video. And we'll see if that works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, it does. It's awesome. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sew these together. So we're gonna make fours. We're gonna sew our pairs into quads. That's step 2. Our quads into 8s, and then 8s into 16s. Doing this backwards. 8s, there we go, 8s into 16s, 16s to 32s, 32s to 64. Okay. So, the trick in this, when you put these together, now you can pin this or you can feel it. So if you feel, you can just see. So we've got one, so we started with precision cutting. Then we ironed to the dark side. So we make this really cool flap going one way and flap going the other way. And then get a nice little, when we line these up, you can feel it. Kind of like a Ziploc bag, you got it inside the zip, right? But it's a little bit thinner feeling than that because it's cotton. So when you've got that slot, that's when you want to sew. And that will be, when you get that slot, let me open this up with that. Yes, Sherlock. Sherlock's giving expert commentary. When you get that, come on, open up. Boy, we really want to sew this. When you get that slot, it'll be so perfect. And that first pair, when we're getting into the quads, that first corner, that defines the whole quilt. It really does, and I'm going to show you how. So let's start sewing. All right, so here we go. Feeling for that Ziploc feel right there. And it kind of slides along. You can kind of feel it slide back and forth. There we go. This one we got chickens and chickens, or roosters and roosters. Chickens and chickens. Alright, let's just show you what I've done so far so you can see them. So they've got 3 assembly line, and when we open these up, that point is right on it. So, which we want very much so. There we go. So we'll go ahead and keep sewing and we'll iron those open. Hey, so I got so excited about lining the point up that I forgot to get the rest of the fabric lined up, so I started getting wonky. I could see it from on the other side. It's like, oh, time to stop. So I'm just gonna rip this a little bit out, get this realigned. I don't know if I have to do the whole thing. Let's see. Probably back to the point. Okay. Probably not the best one on the white side. Okay. All right. Get those threads out of there. All right, so the point's good, but the others gotta make sure that we got that lined up too. Whoops. All right, now it's time to sew. We've got all the quads. We got all the pairs sewn into the quads. So we are going to iron all these open just in time for Sherlock to tell us about the birds. What do you think, Sherlock? What about the birds, huh? What? Are they really? Look at this. Oh, this robin egg blue goes so nice with these, with the charm squares that I got from Missouri Star Quilt Company, and I had started off with Sherlock. Stop. That's enough. Thank you. I'd start off with one charm square pack, and I decided that I wanted to do two. So we've got two charm square packs in this. And the robin egg blue, which, oh, with the roosters. Cock-a-doodle-doo, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Woo! This one's, whoops, this one's got some checkers. Oops, there we go. This one's got some checkers. Ta-da, ta-da-da. I love quilting. It's the feel of the fabric. Of course, it feels good afterwards too. When you got the quilt and you got it all snuggled up against you. Oh my goodness. Ta-da. So the next step we're going to be doing after we get this ironed, after every time I sew, I iron, or every time I rip the fabric, I iron. And oh, we got some wrinkles in this one. Come on, wrinkles, come on out. You know, the pressing helps keep everything nice and straight for you too. And I think when you're doing quilting, half of the work that you're doing really is ironing, which doesn't sound great. They don't call it ironing, they call it sewing, right? Well, there you go. Well, these colors are so close. Let me show you this one up front, or close. This one, see the checkers are kind of blue and green on this one, and they are green and yellow on this one. So really close on that, on the colors. Isn't it awesome? So, all right, I'm gonna keep ironing. We get all these puppies ironed open, then we go to the next step. We're doing the quads to the eights. So we go to quads to eights. We'll have a square. We'll start with a square, and then we'll go to rectangle. And each time we go up one, we'll go square, rectangle, rectangle, square, square, rectangle, rectangle, square, until we get one big giant square, one big giant rectangle, depending on where you stand. Awesome. Oh, let's get that part. Oh, this is going to be so pretty. If you like blue, woo, it's a blue. Woo. Next up, okay, so we've got all of our quads sewn and opened up, and now we're going to sew the quads into eights. There we go. So we'll sew those together. Same kind of thing. We're going to do that pinchy movement where we feel for the pinch. We're going to put them together, and we want to, you can kind of, you can feel how it just slots right into there, kind of like a Ziploc bag. There you go. All right, so now I got, goodness gracious, Sherlock. So I got one big long string of quads sew them together to make 8s, and I'm gonna cut all these apart. So sew them all in together one big assembly line, which you guys know y'all know I love assembly lines. So I'm just gonna cut these apart and sew them. Excuse me. We're gonna we'll cut these apart and then we'll iron them open. And we'll be at the 8s. We'll go, so we do quads to 8s, and then we're gonna go to 8s to 16s. Got these lined up. You can feel it. Kind of slides right in like a Ziploc bag. And we are going to sew the 8s, 2 8s to turn into 16s. There we go. What do you think, Sherlock? Is that expert? Are you giving us expert? What? There we go. We got 16. Look, Sherlock got 16. Woohoo! All right, so because they're getting bigger, I like to spin them just a little bit before I pop them open. There we go. Look at that. All right. I've been listening to disco music again. Ta-da! 16 fingers. All right. Thank you. So we just sewed our 16s together to make 32. So the 32s are looking like this, and next one, so the 32s together to make us 2 64s. So they'll look like just right. Oh. So you get right-handed and left-handed when you're doing squares. Oh goodness. All right. Sherlock. Enough. So we get a 64. Woo-hoo-hoo. Actually, we'll get 2, and then we'll have a spare. So we've got our leftovers so far. We've got a leftover of an 8 by. We got an 8 leftover, and yeah, those 2 will go together. Yeah, so we'll have 2 64s. All right, so this is. Thank you, Sherlock. There's this weird part that you start dreaming about what you're doing and what does it look like. So I'm just going to pause and kind of show you what I'm talking about with the corgi in the middle, right? There we go. Okay, so these are the 32s. So we got 8 by 8s. I've got 2 of those. And Sherlock, come on, Bubbles. Thank you. So they started off with 2 charm packs. 2 charm packs, and then I added the blue. I've got a piece like this. This is a 8 by 4. I've got a 4 by 2. Sorry. I got a 4 by 2 here. And then I've got an 8 by 8. Now this bed is a queen size bed. Now I could go ahead and sew these into 132 and make a nice Sherlock 8 by 16 laptop, which would be nice as a checker, or I can save whichever one of these is my favorite, which is actually this one. Save this as my favorite, and then we're going to do some stuff with this one and these other pieces around it, make this the center. So that's what I would like to do. So I'll show you a different technique. So you can, at this point, sew right up these 32s and keep going. These extra pieces, you could make some sort of a pillow or a tote bag or, you know, whatever you want to with them. But what I'm going to do instead, we'll get this ready. So we're going to sew we will sew this 8x4 to my 8x8, and then we're going to take this guy. Let's see if we can turn that a little bit. We're going to take this guy. We're going to take this seam out of the center, and I'll have another 8, and we will put that on right over here. We'll get that on the end here and here. So we'll have 4, 8, 12, 13 by 8. So we'll have a big 13 by 8 piece, and we're going to do some really cool stuff with that 13 by 8 piece with an 8 by 8 as our center. So that'll be in the next video. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it very much. If you enjoyed this, you know we've got some more videos. You know this is YouTube. You know what to do. There's different videos that'll show up, what YouTube thinks you'll like. It'll show up there, and then of course you can subscribe there, and you know all that stuff. See you next time. Bye.